Hello everyone, welcome to the Kickoff. I'm Justin Perez.
And I'm Nayatie Gabriel. Here's where we dive into the latest on UConn football.
Today we're breaking down the Huskies' exciting matchup against the Syracuse Orange 2 weekends ago and their bounce-back win against UMass last weekend, 47-42, ending the regular season 8-4. 2 weeks ago, the Huskies recorded a tough loss to Syracuse, 31-24. And as we knew going into the game, the problem for the Huskies defense was going to be Ohio State transfer Kyle McCord, who threw for 470 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yes, he did, Justin. Because of him, UConn found themselves in an early hole, trailing 21-7 late in the second quarter, until a late touchdown right before the half. Unfortunately, though, UConn was taken off their game.
Yes, they were, Nayatie. UConn needed to get the rushing attack going, but unfortunately, they weren't able to because they were down the entire game. Quarterback Joe Fagnano threw for 228 yards and 2 touchdowns, connecting with Lewis Hanson and TJ Sheffield for key scores. Bell and Sheffield were a huge part of the passing attack for the Huskies, both hauling in 10 receptions. But despite a late push with a 15-play, 89-yard touchdown drive in the fourth quarter, UConn ultimately fell short, largely due to Syracuse's ability to control the clock and deliver crucial defensive stops. UConn played very well, but unfortunately it wasn't enough against the later-ranked Syracuse.
Following this loss, Justin, UConn bounced back last weekend. In the 78th meeting against a longtime rival, UConn was hungry for the victory. They had a chance to make history for the most regular season wins since 2010, and they did. Although it was a tough overall matchup, the Huskies prevailed. Within the opening minutes of the game, Massachusetts native Louis Hanson ran for a 55-yard touchdown with a pass from QB Joe Fagnano to put the Huskies on the scoreboard.
Yeah, Nayatie, this game was an absolute shootout with over 800 yards of total offense. Neither defense performed very well in this affair.
Huskies were trailing until Mel Brown stepped up with an explosive 96-yard punt return to tie the game at 14 apiece. Just before the half, the score was 27-28, UConn trailing by 1.
But Nayatie, out of the half, I would assume the coaches said something to light their defenses up, because the third quarter was extremely sluggish for offenses. UConn's defense was wide awake with pivotal plays, forcing the Minutemen to punt on 4 consecutive possessions. They only allowed UMass Amherst to gain 14 yards the entire quarter. No points were put up on the board until the final seconds of the quarter, where Fagnano connected with Josiah Gathings for a 26-yard touchdown.
A key contributor to this defensive production this quarter, Justin, was senior linebacker Jaden McDonald, who earned a career high of 20 tackles. Following this third quarter, the fourth quarter was right back to action, where UConn and UMass would respond right back to each other's scores, ultimately producing 28 points combined from both teams, but UConn would hold on to the lead and conclude the game with the 47-42 win in an amazing game.
What an amazing game it was. With that, UConn has secured the bowl game, and our projected opponent is Miami University of Ohio. And I am very excited for UConn to be in the bowl.
So am I, considering that their last bowl appearance was against Marshall University in 2015. This game will hopefully go in our favor.
And with that, we thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of The Kickoff. Hope to see you next week.